Now for the top story, interview with Donald Trump. Candidate joins us now from his New York City headquarters. First of all, you still believe that Egyptian airliner was blown out of the sky? There's a lot of different speculation now.
I do, in a certain way. I mean, I don't know what they used, but something bad happened, and we'll see. I guess they'll eventually find out, but I certainly do. I know that plane very well. I know that type of aircraft, and you have thousands and thousands flying millions of miles. There's never been anything like it, so I do, and I think most people do.
Okay. Now, would you support asking Congress for a declaration of war to fight terrorism? And then under that declaration, it would be the groups that would be, that the United States would declare war on: ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Taliban. Would you favor that? Because if you're president, a declaration of war gives you more power to defeat these people.
It wouldn't bother me at all doing that. We probably should have done that in the first place. Look, we are at war with these people, and they don't wear uniforms. It's not your traditional war where it's a war against Germany, Japan, or whoever. This is a war against people that are vicious, violent people that we have no idea who they are, where they come from. We're allowing tens of thousands of them into our country now. So on top of wars on foreign land, wait till you see what happens in the future. It's probably not going to be pretty. I hope I'm wrong about that, but it's probably not going to be pretty.
But it's speculation.
And we are allowing, Bill, well, that's not speculation. We're allowing people into our country. We don't know who they are, where they come from. They happen to have cell phones. Some of them have cell phones with the ISIS flag on them. So I think it's something we should be, we have to be very tough and very vigilant and
you've done
smart,
very well with
your
national policy, national security policy. But I want to get you on the record. Would you ask Congress to pass a declaration of war if you're elected?
I would have no problem with doing it, Bill.
Okay. That doesn't mean you do it, but I'll take that. Now,
no,
we discussed...
I'll study the facts. I'll study the facts, but I think right now I would have no problem with doing it because we are at war.
All right, because it does give the president more power in waging the fight. Now, you and I have gone around and around on ISIS a little bit, and your theory is that you take their oil away, you strangle their ability to finance themselves, and that's one of the components. I say that if you do that...
I've said that for a long time.
Right. I say if you do that, it's going to be a bloodbath. They're not going to give that oil up easy, so you're going to have ground troops to do it, and it's going to be a bloodbath. How about this? Would you support declaring that anyone buying oil from ISIS is an enemy of the state? That means an enemy of the United States. That way, anybody who buys it, we can drop a drone on.
Well, you know, it depends who it is and everything else. I'm not sure I want to go that far because you could have maybe they send 2 barrels to England. Maybe they send 2 barrels to Sweden.
No. You know, there's the buyers, the guys, not the secondary market, the first guys who buy it. Yeah. See, I would do that. I would say enemies of the state, you buy from ISIS, and I'm going to come get you. That would dry up their oil. That would put them out of the oil business, as they say in Texas.
I can tell you right now, we're not even hitting the people that are buying it on site, the trucks and all of these big trucks are driving in, and we're not even hitting them.
In fact, they say don't hit them. We have transmissions of the military saying don't hit them. Blow the hell out of them. But you'd have to declare them enemies of the state. So you'd have to do that first.
By the way, in that case, absolutely 100%, because we're not hitting them. In fact, we're saying get out of your trucks. We're going to go after you. The whole thing is so preposterous what we're doing.
I would vaporize
those people,
the trucks.
I would hit so hard and so fast.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's turn to a domestic issue that's getting a lot of people very angry. Right after you, we're going to have a talk with Kirsten Powers about transgendered orders from the White House, which would basically put people who are transitioning from one sex to another but haven't done it biologically yet in a locker room. So you would have little girls 8 to 11 or 12 with a boy who wants to be a girl in the same shower. Conceivably that could happen. And as Charlotte Observer editorialized recently, that's fine, we need to get over that. I was a little perturbed by that editorial. What say you?
Well, it's not fine, and I have to tell you that I would, generally speaking, leave it to the states to decide. You know, Obama's getting into a very tricky territory. And the amazing thing is so many people are talking about this now, and we have to protect everybody, even if it's one person. But this is such a tiny part of our population. Now, with that being said, protect everybody. But I would really leave it up to the states.
Do you have in your facilities, your hotels, do you have separate facilities for transgendered? Are you going to put those in?
No, we don't. No, we don't have that.
Are you going to put them in?
I hope not, because frankly, it would be unbelievably expensive nationwide. It would be.
But it's human rights.
You know, hundreds of billions
of
dollars. It would be. Well, I don't know about human rights. I can tell you that it would be an unbelievably expensive thing to do, and I think our country really wants to be spending money on other things in terms of let's build more buildings, let's create more jobs, let's do something. But that would be an unbelievably expensive situation to do, unbelievably. And frankly, the number of people we're talking about is really a small number.
Yes, very
Again,
small.
protect them, but it's a very, very small number.
Okay. I think it was today on the internet, you put up some stuff about Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. It's kind of tawdry stuff, and I'm not sure that this is a good thing to do that.
You're talking about what I'm doing? Well, I'm only responding to what they do. They've been nasty. She's been very nasty, and I said I'd like it to be on policy, Bill. I'd like it to be a straight right down the middle. And by the way, the one thing you didn't mention about the polls, number one, I think I am popular with people. I really do. And I think a lot of people that maybe say I'm not, they're going to still vote for me. But you didn't explain that I was winning in most of the polls now. I'm winning in the tracking polls, and I'm winning in most of the polls against Hillary.
Well, we did that on Thursday.
Which I think is maybe
we reported it first on Thursday.
A lot of people maybe didn't see that show.
No, everybody watches every night.
Some people might not have seen it.
No, they all saw it.
Okay, maybe you're right.
Every human being on Earth knows and saw that because it goes on the internet.
Okay.
And you tweeted about it, and everybody reads your tweets. So that's been out. But I understand what you're trying to do here is inhibit Mrs. Clinton from attacking you personally by saying, if you play that game, then I can come back 10 times harder. I understand that. But you know that it makes the country look bad abroad and things like that. That's what worries me. I mean, I understand the Clinton attack machine. I got it. And I think it has to be dealt with somewhat. But I think maybe caution.
Well, I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that, but I have no choice. When she hits me on things, I just have no choice. So you have to do it. It's unfair. And, you know, they're dirty players. They've been dirty players historically. And I have to fight back the way I have to fight back.
All right. And voters will make up their mind. As I said, if it's in context, everybody, I think, will understand it. But I hope you guys both you're right. I mean, it should be issues, right? You and her on the issues.
I would rather have policy and issues.
Yeah.
Much rather have policy and issues. Absolutely.
And you come on this show and you come on other shows that are not as prestigious as this. We understand why you come here. But you're a stand-up guy. But she doesn't do that. And I think she should. I think she should answer the same kind of questions you answer, you know?
Well, she doesn't, and she goes on very few shows, and I noticed the other night she was on a show and they gave her set-up questions, and they negotiate their questions. I don't think you can ever say that I negotiate my questions with you.
Do you think that would work, by the way?
You're going to hit me with.
Do you think that would work if you came to my people and said, I want O'Reilly to ask me these questions? Do you think that would work?
Yeah, I actually told my people, don't waste your time. It's not going to happen. But I will say this. I will say, if you look at her questions, they are negotiated questions.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a dumb thing to do, Bill. I'm not saying it's so bad if she can do it.
She can get away with it.
But I believe whatever it is, it's
no, you let it fly.
Happens,
I mean, we always give you credit for coming
like
on. We always give you credit for coming on. All right, Donald, thanks again. We appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Next on the Run.